Welcome to Voice Bootcamp, a global name in unified communication. In lab number 8, I'll show you how to configure TEHO calls via the gatekeeper or the UK IP phone dial 3XXX, and the call must terminate on the T1 of SFO as opposed to the IP phone in Toronto. And if it fails, it should use the local E1 gateway. The number type of this call via the SFO should be set to national, while the local E1 should be set to international. So the call flow is this particular user right here, 3001, will dial 6001 dial 3001. This call from the UK gateway will use the gatekeeper as a first choice. Now when the call comes to the gatekeeper to call manager, it is supposed to ring this particular phone right here, but because it's 3001, one of the phone registered to call manager. But instead of ringing that phone, what we're going to do, we're going to reroute this call via the gatekeeper, via the internet into the San Francisco T1, and then route this call via this T1 into PSTN. When the call goes to PSTN, the call will ultimately come into the T1 in Toronto. Well, let me use a different color in this case. The call will somehow come into Toronto. Our goal is to bring the call back to call manager and then ring the phone. So some cases you may need to do weird call routing to achieve certain functions. So this is one of those cases. So I will show you step by step how to achieve this. So first of all, we're going to ensure that our local TE1 can route this call to PSTN. So we'll configure a specific dial pair called 3XXX. We're going to prefix 001 416 303 3, port 15. Now, in order to keep the caller ID intact, what we're going to do is we're going to create a voice translation rule called rule number 2, and rule number 2 says anything and everything if the type is unknown, keep it international, and if its type is plan type is unknown, keep it ISDN. We will create a translation profile. We'll call this international. Translate calling number based on this. Rule number 2, translate call number based on rule number 2. Alright, we will apply this translation rule into the voice dial pair just created. Translate outgoing INT. Now I have two dial pair matching similar range. One is 3001 3 dot dot dot, another one is a gatekeeper 3000, which will also meet 3 dot dot dot. To test this, I will shut down my gatekeeper dial pair for now, so that I can test the call with the ports. Let's increase the ports dial pair preference to 10 so that it can be second choice, but the fact that the VoIP dial pair is down, so it will be the only choice. We want to be able to route this call will come via the T1 in Toronto. We can enable debugging on this router to see if the call actually arrives, and I can dial from this particular phone. It says ring out, and I